And there has been quite a lot of allegations of the misconduct inside religion, and a lot of, I mean, different ones, but some of them are about the sexual assaults and everything happening. Have you ever kind of heard, witnessed anything like that? And kind of, how do you think they also get away with it?
So they get away with it because it's such a closed system. Everything's kept in-house. It's also, there's a huge mistrust of authorities. So it used to be if someone was alleged to be sexually abusive, it was that you would go to the elders. You weren't encouraged to go to the police. Families, yes, were told that they could go to the police, but not told that they had to go to the police. And the elders would deal with that and decide if the person was repentant or not. There was a lot of victim blaming as well. So children were made to feel bad about what had happened, and also a huge lack of safeguarding. But again, it plays into the public face that the witnesses have versus the private one. So they would say in public, well, we're not like other religions. We don't have a Sunday school, so elders aren't alone with children. But equally, an elder could be on the ministry with the child, and so they are alone with children. Or they could be in what was called the second school, which was like a small back room. They could be there with a child. There were no safeguarding policies publicly displayed. It was almost like we didn't actually really know that they were a charity. There's so much that's concealed from the followers, and the scale of abuse within the organisation is massive. After I published The Last Days, which doesn't have any child abuse in it because it didn't happen to me, so many people told me their own personal experiences, and I was shocked that it was child abuse that kept cropping up time and time and time again, and the elaborate cover-ups that they would go to as well, the lengths they would go to conceal the scale of the problem. I remember growing up and we would be told from the platform how awful the Catholic Church was. And of course, the Catholic Church has a huge problem. But that was always held up as, this is what happens in other religions, and we're this loving religion, where all the children were encouraged to call the other members aunt and uncle, where we were encouraged to go on the ministry with people who we barely knew. We were constantly, as children, putting ourselves in really, really vulnerable situations. You were told that the elders were people who had to be listened to at all times. And of course, that creates a terrible power dynamic between an adult and a child as well. So I'm not surprised that they have a huge problem within the organisation.